think that's the thing that makes us so unique. You know, we come from a different background. I literally cut my teeth as a coach in international amateur baseball. You started off owning a gym, and you honestly was a high school coach and ran a sports equipment company for a while. Um,
Mhm.
and now we're working with some of the top athletes in the game. It's the array of experiences that we've been fortunate to have over the past, honestly, like, and it's been expedited. It hasn't been that long. Like, I got in pro ball in 2017. When was your first year in the Astros when I begged you to come over? I was the coordinator and I was like, we need a spot.
I mean, I was
You're
hired in
going to become a
18, so
professional.
19 was my first season, yeah.
Yeah. So, 17, I was in minor league. By 19, I was the hitting coordinator. I got Tim involved with the Astros. And we've just kind of been continuing to do what we've done, which is the name of our website. Really, it's just baseball hacking. We're trying to use systematic thinking, a little bit of science, a little bit of common sense, and apply good principles and coaching to everybody. And yeah, ask questions, search for the truth, know that we're probably never going to fully find it, but give it a go. And that is, I think having that array of experience is so unique. And then myself going from a hitting coordinator, which is, like you already said, managing the hitting coaches in the minor leagues. I then had the opportunity to go to the Mets and be the farm director. And I literally went to the Mets to set up systems, not just for pitching, but for hitting, but for pitching and fielding and strength conditioning. So I got exposed to that front office side of it all, as well as, kind of getting my feet wet in all those different areas. Um, so I just think, we've been around the game now a little bit, and I still have to pinch myself at times with the journey that we've been able to go on. It's pretty unique. Even within the industry, it's pretty unique.
Yeah, I almost think that we came in at, kind of a weird tipping point in the game, at least with the way the Astros were, where they were moving away from a lot of subjective thinking and trying to be much more objective in how they went about things. So they were hiring people from outside, um, the game, not necessarily outside the game, but outside of pro ball, which wasn't possible, you know, 5 years before that, maybe even 3 years before that. But you had this influx of smart, talented people. And if you look, I mean, almost everybody that was hired in our little world in that 3 or 4 year bubble, almost all of them are in the big leagues now, or doing something amazing, like Rachel being one of the first female managers and all that. So like it was an interesting time, and I don't know that we'll get that again because I start to see the pendulum kind of swing back the other way again, um, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Um, but I think it is very, very interesting. Like I think about it all the time. I'm like I was you know an average junior college baseball player at best, and you know got into coaching really young and just was eat up with it and like really interested. I always wanted to understand why what I was being told should work didn't seem to work, and and how I was more athletic before I was coached. And like I think a lot of minor leaguers can attest to that. Like they have their college swing, they get into the minor leagues, they're told it doesn't work, and all of a sudden they go down, and like a lot of times you end up kind of full circling back to their college swing. And it may have been changes they needed to make, and there might have been some things there, but it's like I just was always curious, like why? Like, well, what is it? What is it that the best are doing that we coaches were missing? And honestly, the one of the most interesting things I found now being having been in pro ball for a little while is I've learned a lot, but the basics that we were teaching back at in the box athletics and with you and Canberra and Australia, I still go back to those basics all the time, even with my big leaguers now.